Hey everyone, welcome to Real Talk with Closer Control, where we sit down with real investors doing real estate. There's no fluff, just the honest up and downs about what it takes to grow your business in the real estate market. So today I'm joined by Anthoni Rueca, who's been making serious moves in the real estate market. And we're going to be diving deep into his journey, talk about a couple of his wins, losses, and everything in between. So if you're an investor in the real estate market looking to level up, this one is the one for you. So thank you so much for being with us here today, Anthony. Can you just give me briefly an introduction about yourself and tell us about your investing and wholesaling business and what exactly are the current market you're working in as well?
Just want to start off by saying my name is Anthoni Rueca. I'm 30 years old and I've been doing virtual wholesaling for about 1 year with my family. Maybe you guys might have saw my cousins before, Connor Rueca, Grant, Alec, and Reed. Honestly, it's just been such a blessing, man. It's been such a blessing because I would have never thought I would have been in the position I am now, especially in the real estate game. Because, when I was younger, I just never really thought that I would be in real estate. So, as soon as I saw Connor start the wholesaling business, slowly one by one, all the brothers started joining. And then I was the last one who got picked up. So yeah, it's just been such a great journey. Lots of growth that's been going on. And, I'm just very happy that I'm here to, have this interview with Dion and just teach everybody what I've been doing for this last year. So specifically what we do is, we're virtual wholesalers. Everything is virtual. So all of the people that we work with, we have connections from Georgia, Tennessee, Florida, kind of like all over the southeast region of the U.S. and a little bit in Ohio as well. So slowly we're starting to branch out into different states. And, in this game, as everybody know, that relationships really plays a big part in wholesale real estate. So, but yeah, glad to be here, man. Glad to be here.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that, Anthony. Another question, what exactly are you seeing in today's market, which is a little bit different from last year? Do you feel like the trends are the same, or do you see some rapid changes, especially which is happening in the market right now?
Definitely a lot of changes have been happening. I'll probably say the biggest and most important change that's been happening is the crackdown of kind of virtual wholesaling. And, you have to be kind of careful and be very, very professional just because there's a lot of very amateurish wholesalers out there who really don't know what they're doing. They don't really, I don't know if they don't take it seriously because I would assume they do, but, it's given, it's starting to get people a little bit on their toes. And, I don't know if you guys have heard, but I know in Arizona, there was a huge case going on with a wholesaler who was, constantly daisy training a deal. And it got to the point where it was just too much. And so now there's certain states that require a real estate license for you to even wholesale. So I would say that's definitely the biggest challenge and just trying to work around that. But I'm luckily for us, I got 4 brothers with me. I'm not doing this alone. I got other business partners in the other states, all over the southeast region. So it's even though we're a little bit, there's struggles here and there, but at least we're not doing this all alone. So
yeah, that's really great to hear, Anthony. So when you're doing these wholesaling businesses, do you have any process or any system that helps you scale or save time?
You know what? Ever since we joined, Closer Control, that's just been such a huge help and such a time saver. Just because, I know recently Connor has implemented an AI system into Closer Control. And that helps so much because every time I'm on call and I'm having very long, important conversations, a lot of information is being thrown at me. And instead of, trying my best to get my notebook out and I'm trying to write down all the notes and write down all the important parts, the AI system's actually tracking what I'm saying. And it's actually so smart that it is, tracking what the whether it's the seller or the buyer or the investor, what exactly they are saying. So it's so nice that I don't have to, you know, I can focus on the conversation by itself. I don't have to take notes. I could ask very good deep questions, and the AI will instantly pick it up. So honestly, closing control has just been so phenomenal. And then I'll probably say also the follow-up game. We have in the system, we are able to send multiple texts to multiple investors just throughout the day, kind of like a drip campaign. That's what that's what we like to call it. But I'll probably say it's so important to follow up with investors and buyers and sellers, and that has been such a huge help, and such a system that has helped us save so much time on our hands. So yeah, I mean, if anybody who is kind of hesitant about closing control, I promise you will actually get your time back, because there's so many systems in the CRM that it allows us to focus on other things instead of doing the little the note taking, and then having to call one guy at 1:00, right, and then 2 hours later give him another call. We could just shoot him a text, right? The AI system's already on it, so it's actually awesome, bro. It's so awesome. I didn't even know this could happen.
Nice to hear. So, what would you say is the biggest lesson you have learned in the last 12 months after venturing into the real estate business? Like any one particular lesson which keeps popping up in your mind?
Biggest lesson I've learned, I'll probably say building relationships, and just pretty much keeping in touch with your partners, because at the end of the day, we know that in real estate, it's honestly just a relationship game, right? It's so hard trying to do wholesaling by yourself. You'll be super overwhelmed. So it's important to build that connection with your partners, and it gets to the point where you actually you start becoming friends with your partners, man, and you're able to talk about not just about business, but just talk about life, and you start to realize it's just more than just work at the end of the day. It's like, even I could even go deeper and say it's kind of a spiritual journey, man. So yeah, I'd probably say that's the biggest thing that comes into my mind. And that's one of the biggest lessons that I've learned, especially in the last 12 months, especially for me, because before I used to just do, mechanical work, working with my mom and dad's business, fixing garage doors and being a garage door technician. So it's just a completely different switch of a mindset. And I personally like, because I like talking to people. Sometimes I talk too much and I just blabber on, man. But yeah, I'll probably say that's the number one lesson that I've learned in the last 12 months.
Yeah, I mean, that's great to hear, Anthony. And one last question before we wrap it up. So to someone like just starting out in the real estate market, what would be the one piece of advice you could give them?
I mean, it's probably going to be the most generic advice, but make sure you build your relationship with your partner. Check up on them, see how they're doing. Ask them, hey, how's life been, man? I know, maybe, of course you can talk about business, but just ask, hey, how's life? How's the family? At the end of the day, these are more than just your business partners. These guys are going to be helping you achieve your goals, help you put food on the table and provide for your family. So you kind of have to think of it on a deeper level, right? And in a way, become like best friends in a way. So I would say that's one of the advices I would give. Another one would be stay consistent. This real estate game, it's such an emotional roller coaster that you can't allow your emotions to get to you. Maybe you're having a bad day, and maybe you might have gotten, cussed out by somebody, and you simply just got to brush it off, just laugh it off and go on to the next person, right? Be consistent. Don't let the bad and the negativity affect you, because I promise you, through all the the bad and toxicity and, people you end up talking to, you'll end up, getting your win, right? Just stay consistent, man. Stay consistent, because there's been times where even for me, I've definitely struggled in this game. And if it wasn't for my brothers being with me and helping me and, kind of like, how do you call it? Motivating me. I'm already dedicated, but this happened to, have, especially if it's a brother, dude, he's there with me. He's like, all right, yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Just brush it off. You're still alive, bro. It's just a part of the game. You can do it. It just helps out so much, man. So much. If you're doing it by yourself, try your best to build that connection, man, because it's gonna be tough doing it by yourself. I mean, if you're already strong-willed by yourself, props to you. Just be consistent again. But if you have the chance to build a business or have a business partner and actually build your wholesale business up, that's the way to go, man. That's the way to go.
I think that's such a good advice for a lot of young people who are especially starting out in the real estate market. Well, thank you so much for all of your insights as well as sharing your knowledge with Real Talk with Closer Control, Anthony. So that's it for today's interview, folks. Stay tuned next week where we'll be coming up with new stories from real investors where they are going to be sharing their experiences in the market. With that, I'll be ending this call for today. Thank you. Have a great day, guys.